joining us live. We have some folks joining us live. Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited for you to meet my new best friend, Lisa Angel Smith. I mean, she brings the fire, so you are going to be in for a treat today. Lisa, thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure.
Yes, and before we get too deep into this exciting topic of smoothies, one of my biggest treat, my introduction into raw foods was smoothies, so I'm so excited to be talking about this. But I want to make sure that you are all registered for the Thrive Through Food Summit. The Thrive Through Food Summit is a summit that is focused on nutrition's role in mental health. It's super important that we really pay attention to the health of our brain because our brain is managing everything that we do. We have a Facebook user here, Grand Afternoon, praying all is well. All is well, Facebook user. Thank you so much. There is a link on the description to this video that will allow for me to see your name. So all I can see right now is Facebook user because of the technology that I'm using. But if you click on that link, then I can see your name. But thank you so much for joining us. And we are broadcasting live. I didn't even tell Lisa. I forgot this part. We are broadcasting live on YouTube, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn. So for our folks just getting out of work, they'll get some tips because Lisa is an entrepreneur. She is a health coach. She has her own weight loss story and weight loss journey that she's going to share with us today. On the summit, on the Thrive Through Food Summit, she is talking about nutrition's role in entrepreneurship, right? Because we need healthy brains to run healthy businesses, right? And so it's crucial. Today we're going to focus in on smoothies in particular, but we're going to dive even deeper on the summit. So you want to make sure that you register for the Thrive Through Food Summit. Go to thrivethroughfoodsummit.com. You want to register right now, okay? So do it right now. Like, do it now before you forget, okay? Because if you don't register in advance, then you may miss the links to watch the day's interviews, right? You're going to get emailed the links to watch the interviews every day, each day. They're being shown for free for 48 hours. So you just want to make sure that you are registered in advance and you have everything that you need. If any issues come up, you can always email me, info@rawfoodmealplanner.com. Just make sure you're all set and ready to go. All right. So let me introduce Lisa. Lisa is a plant-based health and business coach. She is the founder of Farm to Table, a plant-based coaching program, and the Plant Protocol, the first plant-based coaching certification to be founded by a person of color. And I am just beaming with joy and pride, even though I literally just met Lisa. I've been following Lisa for, I don't know, probably 9 months or so, not a year, but a little close to a year. In just doing some research, because I actually was interested in doing a series on my podcast about health coaching certifications. Like, is it worth it? How's it, helping folks? And in that research, I found Lisa, and I listened to I think 1 or 2 episodes or 1 or 2 podcasts that she was on, and I was like, wow, this is a woman to watch. Her Instagram, she's always dropping fire, and she continued to do so on the summit. I listen to this interview all the time because she just spits so much truth, so much fire. And having a coaching, a group with coaches of color, right, I think is so critical because speaking from experience as someone who's been certified since 2015, the challenges of coaching as a person of color, our challenges are very unique and no one's talking about it. There's no safe space to talk about it. And Lisa is providing that safe space. So I just appreciate her so much. Lisa, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me back, Samantha. It's always good to be on your platform.
Yes, and we have CFIT Coaching here with us saying, looking forward to this discussion. Me too, CFIT. I mean, I already know it's going to be so much fun. Tracy's here. Yes, my coach, Lisa. Hey, everyone. Yes, Lisa is amazing. All right. So, Lisa, tell us first about your weight loss journey. I know that you lost a tremendous amount of weight. If you can just share with us how you did it and was smoothies a part of it.
Yeah, so I started my weight loss journey, y'all, back in 2012. I was roughly 190 pounds. I'm 5'8", and I was working as a social worker at the time. One of my coworkers was always in the break room looking super fit. Tip had her arms popping, calves popping, and I'm like, "How do you stay so fit?" And she told me she was a personal trainer, and I was like, "Well, sign me up." So I hired a personal trainer in January of 2012. Tiff started me on my weight loss journey, and I lost about 30 pounds with her. Ended up moving abroad to Italy and then China after that. I lost another 35 pounds on my own. And it all just started from, insecurities in my body. Being overweight is a health challenge in and of itself, right? We shouldn't be carrying excess visceral fat around our organs. And so I, wanted to get rid of the excess fat, but most importantly for me, it was aesthetic reasons, wanting to be happy and secure in my body. So started the weight loss journey, lost 65 pounds, all before becoming a plant-based vegan. And I don't even recall, Samantha, whether or not smoothies were a staple part of my weight loss journey or not. I know they're a part of my life today for sure. But back then, before I became a plant-based vegan, I was just kind of eating cleaner. I was being more conscious of what I was eating. So pairing that with the exercise plus living abroad in a country where I didn't have a car, so I was walking and sightseeing all the time and eating a different type of cuisine. We know food in other countries tends to be different, tends to be cleaner. So all of that aided in my 65-pound weight loss. And then when I got back to the United States, I was like, forget social work. I want to work in health and wellness. And so I started my first health and wellness company in 2015 and then my second in 2017. And it's just been the love of my life ever since. I love this work. And so I definitely drink smoothies regularly now. But whether or not I can definitively say they were an intentional part of my weight loss journey, I can't say for sure.
Kelly is here with us. She says, I'm ready for it. Lisa is the real deal. Yes. Yes. You have lots of fans in the chat, and I'm not surprised because you are so amazing. So tell us about your smoothie, because I remember on our interview for the summit, you mentioned that you start your day with a smoothie. What is that like? Is it like, what do you put in it?
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about this, Samantha. So I drink smoothies regularly. I wouldn't say every single day, but probably at least 5 days out of the week, right? And it's one for the convenience of it all, like super convenient. It's just too convenient. And one of my hashtags, can I say the D word?
The D word.
Yeah.
I'm scared. What is
I don't know if
it?
I can curse. Not the D
We
word.
got
you're
church
thinking
folk
of.
on here. We got church folk.
Okay. Okay. Well, I drink smoothies every dang day. All right. I eat plants
Okay.
every dang day. Right. And so because I eat plants every day, it's really important that I get those in by any means necessary. So for me, smoothies is one surefire way to get my plants in every day. Some people take a multivitamin, some people do protein powders. I don't do supplements, man-made supplements, but I eat plants every day. And so my recipe is different every day, Samantha, but I had a smoothie today and I knew I was going to be talking to you this afternoon. So I was like, let me write down everything I put in here so I can tell them. So I'll tell you what I drank today, but then I'll also tell you kind of my generic formula for smoothies overall. Okay. So the one I had today was spinach, basil, beets, lemon, ginger, frozen banana, frozen berries, ground flax, and then I like to season my smoothie. So I had turmeric and cinnamon in there as well, and unsweetened plant milk. So that was my smoothie for today. It was really creamy. Oh, you know what I didn't add in here? Also avocado. So the avocado and the frozen banana makes it really smooth and creamy, and it was delicious. It was the sweetness from the banana and the berries, and then most importantly, it was chocked full of sustenance from all of the other ingredients. So let me tell you the key when it comes to smoothies for me, kind of what I teach my clients and kind of what I practice, which is smoothies should be 75% plants and 1 to 2 fruits to wash the medicine down. So the goal of a smoothie for me is to get medicine in as quickly as possible in the form of plants, in the form of seeds, right? In the form of all type of sustenance, right? And the point of the fruit is to sweeten it just enough to make it palatable and delicious. So I don't believe in all fruit smoothies unless it's for a dessert. So if I have an all fruit smoothie, it's usually in the evening or following a meal because I have a sweet tooth, right? And so it's going to be smaller, maybe no more than like 8 ounces. Whereas my smoothie in the morning that I'm using as an actual meal, it's going to be more like 12 to 14 ounces. And again, the base of every single smoothie is always plants, because that is my goal, is to get the plants in, right? And so if we're using smoothies as a meal replacement, we want to make sure that we're getting everything that would ideally be on the plate, right? So all of your macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fats, right? And then all of your beautiful additives, that are really going to spike that thing up, like that ginger, like that turmeric, like that lemon, right? Lemon is really good for helping to absorb all of the iron and the nutrients inside of the leafy greens, because that lemon gives it that vitamin C. And so my smoothies are always plants first and then fruit last, and no more than two types of fruit.
That's interesting. You have beets and banana in there. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna just get right into it. And also, too, I want to let you all know that once you register for the Thrive Through Food Summit, you do get a free gift. It's a recipe book, a smoothie recipe book from me. So make sure that you register for the Thrive Through Food Summit. Go to thrivethroughfood.com, thrivethroughfoodsummit.com to register. Um, the beets. So beets tend to be really sweet. Bananas are sweet.
Yeah.
I know you had a lot of other things in there, so maybe that brings the sweetness down a little bit. But I know folks are really concerned about this, about
Hmm.
fruit in general, when it comes to weight loss, or I like to say releasing excess fat because it's a little bit more complicated than weight loss. But also with our brains, like focus, you know. So like how has this impacted you, or how do you feel? Is there a way that you kind of think of it in terms of how you put your smoothies together, how it's going to impact you in your day and your productivity?
Yeah, well, so when it comes to sugar, as you know, the thing that can be dangerous is, number one, the source of sugar. So I don't eat any refined sugar, any processed sugar, right? But even when it comes to fruit, or fruit liquefied in any type of way, right, which we know is going to give you that higher doses of sugar quicker, the presence of the fiber is what slows down, right, the release of insulin from our pancreas. And so what's important to note is that, we want to be consuming a minimum of 30 grams of fiber a day, right? A high fiber diet, which is what a whole food plant-based vegan diet is what's going to be able to control those blood sugar spikes. So the fact that I had frozen banana and frozen berries in there, and frozen berries are actually pretty low on sugar, actually. And then it was like a quarter of a small beet. It was not a problem at all. Like, I don't, because I don't eat refined sugar, Samantha. I can feel instantly if I get too much. Instantly, my body reacts instantly. Like, I will feel like the jumpiness, the hyperactivity in my body and in my brain. And so I have really dialed in on making sure that my smoothies and the amount of quote unquote sugar from the fruit or the vegetables, is in small amounts, right? To make it extremely manageable, because my body and my brain is hypersensitive to sugar since I don't eat it at all, right? Refined processed sugar. There's not a lot of sugar at all. And then keeping in mind the presence of the fiber from the plants, from the flaxseed, even the fiber that's in the banana, right? All of that controls how quickly our blood sugar spikes when we consume sugar, in any form. So we want high fiber, and that's what offsets that.
So you say that you don't have it every day, a smoothie, right? I feel like I heard you say that. So what, comparing smoothies to your other breakfast options, like how do you feel it impacts your energy, mood, and mental clarity?
Well, I don't believe, in the term breakfast. Like, there's no such thing as a breakfast food, right? So my first meal of the day could easily be like a bowl of chili because I made chili the night before, right? So there's no such thing as a breakfast food. So what I eat every day usually depends on what I had the night before, because I'm working, I'm doing my thing. I don't have time to stop and cook and all of that. But when it comes to energy levels, for me, I eat really clean. So whether it's a smoothie, a bowl of chili, some avocado toast, some leftover pasta, whatever it is, it's everything is controlled so that I still have complete control over my brain, over my mood, over my ability to concentrate. My brain is the most important organ to me personally, because everything I sell for a living comes from my brain. All I sell is intellectual property, right? All I put out is intellectual property, whether it's a podcast, an email, social media, or I'm building a curriculum for one of my programs, I'm writing a talk for a speaking engagement. Like, every single thing comes from my brain. It is the one thing I covet the most on this planet. And so I do everything I can every day to protect it. And so that really, really includes what I feed it, right? And so we know the brain needs the healthy fats. We know the brain needs the water. We know the brain needs the plants to make sure the arteries are dilating. So the sustenance that we're eating is feeding the brain. And so, because the brain is so vascular. And so when it comes to how I'm able to perform, when it comes to how I'm able to concentrate, like, I have to covet everything I eat. So it doesn't matter if it's a smoothie or if it's actually, a hot meal in the morning, whatever I'm breaking my fast with for as my first meal of the day, which is always after 10 a.m. and I'm up at like 4 or 5, is really, really designed to be the healthiest it can be for my brain and my performance.
Mm-hmm. So you had mentioned earlier that like you have the berries in there that are low glycemic, and I didn't hear too many high glycemic fruits in your smoothie. So are you concerned about this? Is this something that you monitor and just make sure to avoid high glycemic fruits, or do you not care? Have you not observed any difference?
Do I monitor? No. Am I mindful? Yes. So, like, I have frozen mango in my freezer right now. That's definitely more high glycemic, right? I don't like to put super acidic fruits in my smoothie, so I won't do pineapple anymore. Just like, it's just too acidic. But do I do high glycemic fruits? Yes. So I'm not an anti-fruit person. I don't think fruit is our problem in America. And so I encourage the consumption of fruit, but I do discourage the consumption of like an all fruit smoothie if it's meant to be for health reasons or meal replacement. All fruit smoothie to me is just a dessert, right? That you should have once every now and then. So when we're dumping like berries, banana, and mango, and strawberry, and all of this stuff into a smoothie, it's like, no, where are the plants, right? That's way too much. But do I eat high glycemic fruits? 100% I do, right? I don't have any insulin issues, no insulin resistance, no metabolic issues, not diabetes, any of that stuff. But even people that do, I believe one of the things that we're telling people that have insulin resistance issues that's wrong is that they need to avoid fruit, when really they need to eat the fruit whole, meaning they need to chew it so they get the fiber that's present in it. And most importantly, they need to get the animal products out of their diet, because it's the saturated fat that's stopping the sugar from moving out of their blood into their muscle and liver cells. So I just want everybody to know that fruit is safe. Like, fruit is not the problem. Fruit is not the problem. The chicken and salmon and bacon is the problem, not the fruit, right? But again, because I don't eat sugar, like I don't even eat honey anymore. I don't do maple syrup. Like I really don't eat a lot of high glycemic, sugars, quote unquote, even if they're natural or clean or whatever. I don't, do coconut sugar and all of this stuff. I can't, you know what, Samantha, I just discovered like last month that was really disappointing. I literally can't even eat dates anymore. They're too sweet for me.
Wow.
Like, I know. I'm like, okay, Lisa, you might have went too far. Dates, but literally, I can't even eat dates anymore because they're too sweet. So when I say it's my palate is hypersensitive, like I used to do dried fruit, like dried mango and stuff. I don't eat that anymore. It's just too sweet. And so because I've really done the work to change my taste buds, I can only have a little bit of anything.
Truly Plant-Based is asking, with berries, what's your take?
Go for it. Like, okay, so in my plant-based coaching program, Farm to Table, in our like daily protocol that we give to our students, it is a minimum of 1 cup of berries a day. So berries are, let me tell you something. If you want to murder some cancer cells tonight, go eat some berries. Okay? Like I don't know who's telling people to not eat bananas and not eat fruit. Is wild to me. Especially
I heard one today.
Right.
Yeah, I heard one today. She's a vegan bodybuilder, which is why I wanna ask you, because like you went through your weight loss journey before you went plant-based, and typically when folks go plant-based, that's when they really dive into nutrition studies and start to get to know things. So has your thought process changed on fruit in that whole journey?
Not one time. Next question.
So you lost the weight eating fruit, all the fruit that you wanted to eat.
Yeah, who is giving up pears and peaches and who is telling people that fruit is bad? I just don't understand. Now, I think the people who are like maybe identifying as fruitarians, could that be go too far where you only eat fruit? Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a fruitarian, right? I eat all the things, right? Whole grains, nuts and seeds, plants. But am I anti-fruit, or do I think we need to micromanage the consumption of fruit? I don't. I really don't. But are there some people who are going to take it too far? 4 bananas a day. Sure, there are. Though that's not the majority of us, though, right? So are there outliers who go too far? Absolutely. But in general, right, if you eat a banana 6 days a week, I don't think like that's not the cause of your diabetes. Like, trust me when I tell you, like, it's just we're micromanaging the wrong part of the process, part of the system, right? So no, my thoughts, my views, my opinion around fruit has not changed over time since losing weight. I did not reduce or micromanage my intake of fruit when I was on my personal weight loss journey, and I don't do so now. We tell our students to eat fruit in my programs, right? At least 1 cup of berries a day. It is like the amount of antioxidants in those things that will murder those cancer cells and help combat oxidation in the body is so powerful. Like it is. Berries are medicine. Fruit is medicine. It's very medicinal, right? And so the more that you can actually chew, and I know we're talking about smoothies, but the more you can actually chew as opposed to liquefy, the even better.
Yeah, I like to make my smoothies thick. So I'm chewing them, but it's not the same thing as like, just eating them. But that's what I love about too, like with raw foods, because in the morning I typically have, if I'm not having a smoothie, I'll have raw vegan oatmeal that I make. And it's, you basically food process, like I could do apples or pears with like walnuts, cinnamon, a couple dates. And so it almost has like a applesauce consistency, but a little thicker, and lemon, a juice of 1 lemon. But it's just, it provides variety, and it's really good. I don't like, I love fruit is not something I would ever give up, but if you're gonna eat fruit, because even raw foodies, like you were mentioning, the fruitarians, there have been folks talking about, I gained weight being raw, and it's because, even though you're eating clean, energy is energy, right? And if you're consuming more energy than you're putting out, did you ever dive into any of like calorie counting, calorie watching, intermittent fasting on your weight loss journey?
Yeah, I started off as a calorie counter. Lord forgive me. Like, we should not be counting calories. But absolutely, I started off as a calorie counter before I became a plant-based vegan, because I was definitely like under the impression that the way to lose weight is just to reduce your amount of calories and nothing else mattered. So I definitely started off as a calorie counter, but now I highly discourage it.
Truly Plant-Based says that she read, and I read this too, in one of the groups, they were talking some study that came out, or some article was referencing a study that was done saying that you shouldn't mix bananas, you shouldn't put bananas in your smoothie because it makes flavanols less available or something like this. So that's what Truly Plant-Based is saying. And I did read this article today, but as somebody commented, in this group, and I agree, this is one of those times where it's like, this needs more research. What's your take on this? Can you believe they're even studying this? Like, oh my God.
No. They want to say bananas are anti-nutrient. Sure. So what they're saying is that bananas are kind of acting as an anti-nutrient because if you're mixing them with berries, they're preventing the proper absorption of flavanols.
Flavanols, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a comment. Am I gonna stop putting bananas in my smoothies with berries? No, I'm not. But I can't confirm or deny. I think my flavonol intake is tight. I mean,
Yeah.
according to blood work, like I'm not trying to be facetious. Like, I get my blood
Yeah.
drawn a couple times a year as a plant-based vegan. Haven't had any challenges, so I'm gonna continue what I'm doing. But it's not to say it's not true. I just don't have a comment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think too, uh, you know, Dr. Greger of nutritionfacts.org, in his book How Not to Die, he mentioned that we are just lacking in fruit consumption in this country, and that's causing a lot of issues, high blood pressure being one. We're very dehydrated, we're consuming a lot of salt from processed foods and from meat, chicken in particular, and there's a lot more to the food than even what scientists know. So even something like this, I would need numerous studies. The amount of studies they have on plants to tell people to eat plants that they've been putting out for centuries. Oh, now this is why you should eat plant. Like, even the latest one about not eating red meat because it causes that. Like, didn't we know this like 200 years ago? Like, why are they still studying this? That's how much studies I'm gonna need to stop doing bananas. That's how much. To be honest, because I'm not. It's not making sense. But it's interesting to me because everybody's body's different. So you said you lost the weight, you ate the fruit, you didn't, you were counting calories. So like what do you think helped you with the weight loss? Because you weren't plant based at that time.
Yeah, because it was just calorie restriction. It helped with weight loss, but it didn't help with life expectancy, right? So what I love about a whole food plant-based lifestyle is that you get both, right? You actually get to come down to a healthy weight, but then you also get to extend your life by not increasing your chances of heart disease and all of these lifestyle diseases by still consuming animal products and processed foods. What makes it easy to count calories is the fact you're eating packaged food that has the calorie count on there, right? But as a
Mm-hmm.
whole food plant-based vegan, it's extremely difficult to count calories because I'm just putting all this raw food in a blender, or I'm just, stuffing a sweet potato with black beans, making a pot of chili. Like, it's very difficult to count calories when your diet is 80 to 90% label free, as it should be. And so now, our students, we are avid anti-calorie counters. We are avid anti-weight watchers. And it's really about making sure we're extending our healthy life expectancy. So that's the goal, to make sure we're putting things in our body to improve our daily performance and how long we expect to live.
CFIT coaching is laughing. Studies on if plants are okay to consume. Yeah, can you believe it, man? It's like, dude, we are so over this already. Just eat plants already. So I'm curious, how much smoothie are you drinking in the morning? Because I know I start my day with 32 ounces when I do a smoothie. How much are you doing?
Not that much. Nope, not that much. So I don't do all this measuring, but I know the glass I use doesn't even hold 32 ounces. It's smaller than that. And so I just throw the stuff in a blender, Samantha, that sounds and feels good to me, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
I pour it in a glass. I always drink it out of a glass, a wide mouth glass with a straw, and I bring it to my office. Like, so I'm not measuring how much, but it's maybe, above 12, below 20 ounces. I don't know. I don't, it's not that serious to me. It's just a meal. I throw the
Mm-hmm.
stuff in there. This looks good. What we got in the refrigerator, what we got in the freezer, throw it in there. And get some plants in. The goal is just to get plants in my body, right? That's the goal. Get my plants in, get my berries in. I want that creaminess, I want it to taste good, and I want to get back to my office and get to work. And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't really measure.
So the question is going to be, have you been able to maintain the weight loss with that?
Girl, I should stand up right now. Yeah. What?
Show it off if
Listen.
you want to.
Listen.
Because
This
people are
body,
so concerned,
about what?
about fruit. I don't know. So much fear
Who are these
mongering.
people? Raise your hand, like blink twice if you're concerned about fruit. I don't get it. Like, okay. So listen, I have not gained any of my weight back. I lost it many years ago, back in 2012, 2013. I have not gained any weight back My body is banging. Okay, like let's just talk aesthetics for a minute. Like we all know life expectancy, avoid chronic disease, no medications, got it on lock already. All right. But let me tell you something about when I put that little tight mini black dress on. Okay, Samantha. Them smoothies ain't doing nothing but helping everything. You hear me? Okay. The belly is flat.
Okay.
The arms is pumping.
Word.
Listen, if y'all don't back off my bananas, yes, I should have wore. I should have had my shoulders. I don't show enough skin during
That should be a shirt. Back off my bananas. Seriously.
Listen, the curves is curving, okay? Because your girl squats, she lunges, she push-ups, okay? She yogas, okay? And so, yes, I eat the fruit and the bananas. I eat the smoothies. I chew it. I drink it. My favorite dessert, actually, my favorite plant-based dessert is actually smoothie bowl. So I love going somewhere and getting like a smoothie bowl, eating it with a spoon, a nice frozen treat. So I do all of that and I feel absolutely amazing. For me, the measuring stick every day is how my brain works. Is my brain foggy today? Is it cloudy today? Do I have clarity? Like, is the creativity coming? Is the recall there every day? Like, how my brain works is the measuring stick for me. Because I'm so past worried about having a chronic health challenge. I'm not like, heart disease ain't on my radar, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. It's just not on my radar. Like, I've done the work to feel in the safe zone. So I don't monitor those things. I'm good. And my body, like I've done the work to get the weight off. I have a really, really, really consistent workout regimen. And so now for me, it's like the measuring stick is my brain. Like, how is my brain performing? Like, I'm writing a book right now. Like, are the words coming to me? Do I feel clear? Can I string thoughts together? When I'm on a stage and doing speaking engagements, can I recall things when people ask me questions? Like, when I'm coaching a client, like, am I able to be fully present? Like, can I control my present moment awareness? All of that is what matters the most to me now.
And we talk about all of this on the summit because when you talk about focus, I'm thinking about folks who struggle with ADD. We talk about nutritional interventions for that. Funny thing, it's fruits. Spoiler alert. Would you imagine fruit for focus? Clutching our pearls. Yes, I think you'll be really surprised with what comes out on the summit. Like, honestly, yes, I am the Raw Food Meal Planner. Yes, that's my brand, rawfoodmealplanner.com. Yet this summit really was focused on nutrition's role in mental health. I did not have an agenda for raw food to be the focus of this summit, yet it kept coming up over and over and over again from numerous people pointing towards that as supports for autism, ADHD, depression, anxiety, so many things, and so that's why it's like, yeah, I mean, if you're telling people not to have bananas, I'm gonna need like at least 50 years of proof and research at minimum,
Minimum.
Yeah, because I mean,
and they did not be eating any chips, any processed food, any fast food.
That part.
If we taking out bananas, but we still eating drive-through, somebody's still order.
That part, muddying the studies too, because that's another thing that's come up too, is we need more studies showcasing not just vegans, but like healthy vegans, folks where we know that what they're consuming is plants made in the healthiest way. Like, exactly how are they preparing it? Because even things like oil can muddy the study on results. Oils make a big difference, for a lot of things. Like, if you're in a stable place like you're in right now, it may not be that huge of a deal, but for someone who's dealing with obesity, type 2 diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, oil is a huge factor.
It is.
Arlette says, yes, I have released more weight, not counting calories. This life is the real deal. Stand up, stand up. Yes. Stand
I love
up.
I love all my clients. So Arlette is a current client. Tiffany Hughes is a program coach of mine. CFIT Carmel, she's a current client. Like, just can I just pause and say shout out to all of my clients showing up and being here for it. I just love y'all so much.
Yes, thank you for being here. So let us know, Lisa, besides incorporating smoothies in the morning,
Yeah.
do you do smoothies at any other time of day? Because there are, for some people, food rules about when we have fruit. Do you have those same types of rules
No,
for
no, ma'am.
yourself?
Next
Okay.
next question.
So
No,
smoothies
like
strictly just like a morning thing for you, or like your first
no,
meal?
it's just whenever I feel like it. Like, I'll easily
Mm.
have a smoothie at 5 p.m. Like, I didn't even know that there was a thing that fruit. First of all, okay. Fruit has that's okay. Fruit is nothing but structured water. Like, I don't know why this is very so complicated. I didn't know there was a time of day you should stop eating fruit. But fruit is nothing but structured water. Okay. It's upwards of 70, 80, 90% water. So it has the absolute shortest digestive time. So if there was going to be something to eat later in the day, it actually would be fruit because it
Mm-hmm.
digests so quickly and won't disrupt your ability to go through all the phases of sleep at night, right? With because you're digesting. And so and also what I tell my clients, this is probably going to scare off a couple more people, is that if they can't drink all of their required water every day, like I have, students who are nurses and doctors and, public, whatever, defenders. And so they're on these crazy schedules. Like, I can't be going to the bathroom. I can't be doing this. And I'm like, oh, well, if you can't drink your water, half of your healthy body weight in ounces of water per day, eat fruit because it's nothing but structured water. So it's a great way to hydrate if you can't literally drink it, right? And so I recommend fruit for water. So I mean, I don't know if I'm about to get banned, but I no, I don't recommend to stop eating it. I drink smoothies all times of the day, and I even make sure I increase my fruit intake if for some reason I'm traveling or something and I can't drink the waters as much as I want.
It makes
Yeah.
sense. We have also on the Thrive Through Food Summit Dr. Aris Latham, and he says that he doesn't drink any water either. He's completely raw,
Mm-hmm.
and so he gets all his water from the foods that he
Mm-hmm.
consumes. So that makes sense. I'm curious though, bloating and gas, because
Um,
this is a concern.
yep.
When you're having fruit after cooked food. Do you have those types of issues, or is there like some kind of rule or something that you're doing to make sure you don't have those types of issues?
Yeah, sometimes if I like overpack my smoothies, I will have some of that bloating. Just like I've put like too many plants in one, for example, or something like that, and it gets kind of complicated. I tend to eat fruit with cooked meals, so I will have a
Mm-hmm.
couple of mandarin oranges before I eat a bowl of chili or something. I don't have issues. I haven't personally had issues though.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I eat fruit with my meals or as after immediately following a hot meal, and I haven't had any issues. What I don't like, and this is just personal preference,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody that does it is weird. Is I don't understand people who put fruit in salads. Like, stop the madness, okay? We should not have mandarin oranges and berries in a salad. Like, pick a side, okay? Eat that separately, but don't pour no salad dressing over my fruit. Ew, like, so you're weird if you
Yeah.
do it, but no judgment. God loves you.
After judging, no judgment. But yeah, I agree. I mean, and
Yeah,
that's the beauty about like the plant-based world. That's why I always say there's no one way to eat. I mean,
yeah,
you are bringing forth a lot of new, and it works for you. And you lost weight and you're maintaining the weight. And I think that is really helpful for people to hear that you got to just find what works for you,
yeah.
and if you're having issues, maybe that's where you need to pay attention. But if you're not, then don't make it complicated. Rita says, I feel judged, LOL. So we have some fruit on salad lovers here. I know in the raw food world, folks do that a lot and like have like fruit salad dressings. I don't like to do fruit with savory stuff, you know?
Mhm. Yep.
And it is weird because coconut aminos I love, and it has a sweet savory taste. So it's not like I don't like sweet and savory, but it's like fruit with like salt and garlic, and you know what I'm saying? That's like, oh, it's just like
Much.
weird.
Too much.
It's weird. Tiffany says she likes apples and berries in her salad.
Yeah, that's my good
Strawberries.
friend. And Tiffany's been weird our whole friendship. So we understand that. Hey, Tiff.
Rita says strawberries and pecans in her salad. That actually sounds pretty good. I probably would eat the strawberries first though, and not like, as a, like an appetizer before.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
I'm over here like, get somebody else to do it.
So you mentioned that you're not really drinking as much smoothie as I drink, but I know one of the complaints that folks have with smoothies and especially too with like water, and you talked about hydration a bit, is the frequent bathroom trips.
Hmm.
Have you had that issue or heard that issue? Has anyone complained to you about this?
What do you mean by frequent? I mean, it's just normal to me. Like it's too much because they're busy or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you start eating this way, with having smoothies in your diet, drinking more water, you mentioned half your body weight in ounces of water, uh, folks are going to the bathroom more frequently
Yeah.
than prior.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's to be expected, and it's a good thing, right? We should be eliminating as often as possible. Ideally, even after a meal. So it's a thing that you do have to adjust to. It's not a reason to not eat all of this healthy raw fruits and vegetables. But it's a good thing because now we are eliminating properly. When you're eating a high fiber diet, right, that really gets things moving. So that motility in your body is really important, right, for elimination, and to make sure we're escorting out all of the waste and all of the toxins. So yes, you do go to bathroom more frequently. And it is something that we should normalize as a good thing because many people have issues with eliminating, and that is the bigger problem. So yeah.
Tiffany Wilkerson joined us. Hey, Tiffany. She says, hey, I love my fruit in my salads, but no dressing needed. Thanks for joining us live. Leslie says fruit salads are fire. Yeah, fruit salads are great, actually.
No,
That's
fruit salads are cool. Now, I don't know. See, Leslie is also a client of mine, so you got to go carefully because Leslie will come in here with the smoke. But I'll tell you, we're not arguing about fruit salads. We're arguing about fruits in salads. There's a difference.
right, right.
Okay?
Because when you say fruit salad, I'm thinking like a fruit bowl.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. That
And
makes sense.
the way God intended. Absolutely. So, like all the fruit together in one fruit salad, yes. But when we start adding plants and salad dressing and all of the other tomatoes and cucumber, that the only fruit that should be in salad really is avocado, right? Because we all know that's a it's switched over kind of.
Yeah.
But
Or like
anything beyond,
tomatoes.
yeah, we can argue fruit or vegetable. We know technically it's
That's a whole
whatever.
other
Yeah,
podcast.
we'll do that next week. But fruit salads are phenomenal. But fruit and salad, you're weird.
Yeah. Yes, yes. So, what advice would you give to working professionals who want to enjoy smoothies without disrupting their workflow? Like, how would you encourage them to start incorporating more healthy fruits and vegetables at the top of the day?
Yeah, well, the smoothie is there's no quicker way to do it. Number one, and so when you say disrupting your workflow, like if you think a smoothie takes too much time, it's really time to stop and prioritize what you're putting your time and energy toward, right? But another thing is like pre-making the smoothie. I know people do that sometimes, kind of pre-prepare. So for me, pre-making it is like dumping everything in the blender, but I don't blend it yet, right? But it's already in the blender. So sometimes I'll do that if I know like I got stuff going on in the morning. First thing in the morning, I'm up. The very first thing I do in the morning is drink 25 ounces of water. And so when it's time for my first meal of the day after 10 a.m., usually I'm in full work mode by then. So I will have made my smoothie earlier, several hours prior, just dumping everything in the blender so that all I got to do is go down there and blend when I'm ready for it. I know some people make pictures of smoothies and have that ready to go. I just love how quick they are. I was drinking my smoothie yesterday while I was driving to the gym at like 1 in the afternoon. And so they travel well, right? For people who are busy, I don't even see, I don't even know if there's anything quicker than making a smoothie.
Well, there you go, folks. Start your day with a smoothie and get great productivity, get all the nutrition you need for excellent health, excellent brain health. And to learn more about how to support your brain, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you register for the Thrive Through Food Summit. And hear more from Lisa as she talks about how nutrition plays a role in mental health, specifically for entrepreneurs. And folks, Lisa, where can folks find you?
Yes, so you can find me first and foremost acting up on social media. So Instagram and Facebook, Lisa Angel Smith at Lisa Angel Smith. Can one of my students drop it in the chat for me? At Lisa Angel Smith on Facebook or Instagram. And then if you want to book me to speak or you want to get more from me or learn about my programs, my podcast, my website is lisaangelsmith.com. So everything is the full government name, at Lisa Angel Smith or lisaangelsmith.com, where you can learn more about what I offer, start listening to the podcast, all of those fun things. So
thank you so much. Thank you so much for spending this time with us and educating us on a new way to eat. And everyone that's been here with us live and engaging in the chat, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you at the Thrive Through Food Summit. Have a blessed day. Bye.